time. The red lights are on. They go out. The race gets underway, and it's an even start from the two on the front, but it's Matt Hallam that's going to have the lead as they head up into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time from Roger Chesno, who started on pole position. It looks like it's Thomas Holland that's sweeping around the outside. He's going to be level pegging with Matt Hallam, I think, as they go up the hill towards Druids this time. For the first time, Jordan Johnson slotted into third place as well. Chesno from pole has dropped down to fourth position. They're making their way through Graham Hill Bend, and it's Chesno coming back up the inside of Johnson to try and get third position back. You've got Oak Richardson, who's not really made any progress yet, in seventh place, but he has got a clear track ahead of him now as they head through Surtees and McLaren.
Yeah, he's behind Michael Pearce in the green car, who's edging closer to that elusive victory. But out front, it's Holland in the red car who leads the way. Thomas Holland, who has that advantage. It's only a tenuous one at the end of the first lap, because his mirrors are absolutely full of the 44 car, which is Matt Hallam. And in third place is Jordan Johnson ahead of Roger Chesno.
Yeah, so 15-minute race, 1 lap down, and probably 15 laps to go, something like that then in this race. And turning their way through Druids. Quite wide there was Oak Richardson in the number 17 car. He's in still third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh place as they work this second lap of the race. 46 is Ben Smiles, the teenager. He's going to lose out to Matt Crozier here for the final position inside the top 10. He had got ahead of him on this lap, but he's already going to lose that position again, I think.
Yeah, you sense that Oak Richardson's just playing it safe, just staying out of trouble, because that's what it takes. You're going to notch points in every race. He's 1 to 2 so far, but his third one looks a slightly tall order at this point, but if he can pick his way forward, and he's got right on the tail of Pearce.
Then, yes, he's right with him, isn't he, Pearce?
Hansey's right behind him too.
Yeah, Hansey lost out 2 places on that lap, and now Richardson looking up the inside of Pearce here into Druids on lap 3, and it looks like the Garden Centre owner has got through, so he's through now to 5th place, Oak Richardson, ahead now of Pearce and Hansey, and behind Hansey is Andy Bailey's now. He's made his way ahead of Samuel Gormer as well. As we've got Jordan Johnson then for up to 2nd place now. He's gone through on the inside of Matt Hallam there on the way into Surtees, and he's trying to stay with Thomas Holland, who's pulled out a lead of a few car lengths.
Yep, Holland looking strong in the red car at the moment, with everyone else embroiled. Oak Richardson trying to bridge a gap to the cars ahead of him, the 3 ahead of him. But meanwhile, there's the tussle for the lead. Holland, Johnson and Hallam. Then it's Chesno and Richardson.
Ooh, a lock up there by Hallam, and that's unsettled Chesno, who spins and gets his rear wheels into the gravel. Could easily drive out of that though, of course in an MX5, and he'll rejoin the race, but well down the order. So he's had a moment that sort of split the pack a little bit. So it's still Holland leading, Johnson 2nd, Hallam 3rd, Richardson up to 4th now as a result of that.
Just easing forward, staying out of trouble. So it's all about the 17 car. Pogo's over the apex curves at Surtees through McLaren and up into Clearways. Camber falls away on the outside, and well, that was a bit hairy, dropping a rear wheel onto the curb in the middle of that arc.
That was Andy Bailey, wasn't it,
yeah,
in the 95 car, and he was ahead of Ben Hansey, and Hansey's used that because Bailey's lost momentum to try and get back through, but he's not been able to do it. Hansey on the podium in the race earlier this afternoon. 2nd place he took, but not going so well here. Down to 8th he's gone. As the leaders are together now, it's Hallam trying to fight back. He's up on the inside of Jordan Johnson at Druids. He'll fall back behind at Graham Hill Bend, but they're both now putting the pressure on the number 74 car of Thomas Holland, who's been racing on and off in the MX5s for a few seasons now, but I don't think he's yet had a win in this category.
It's interesting that Tomlinson, who's normally much closer to the sharp end, is battling along. He's in 10th place in car number 9, and you normally see him much further forward in Tomlinson. come the leaders then, and Holland has been reeled in, and there's an attack on the outside, and it's Johnson who has his transponder, triggers the timing just ahead by 35 thousandths of a second, but back on the inside out of Druids. Lead changes back, and it's Holland who's back ahead on lap 6.
Yeah, I looked away for a moment, and the lead's changed twice without me knowing it. Johnson there just leading out of his cockpit to readjust the mirror, which had no doubt got sort of knocked askew a little bit in the skirmish, but that's been readjusted now, and it's Holland from Johnson, Hallam, and now Richardson with them. So he's been playing this waiting game. He's now right with them within 3/4 of a second of the race leader. He's got the fastest lap of the race as well, which is a bonus point of 58.701. It's a bonus point on top of the 100 that you get for a win in the 5 Club MX5 Cup. So potentially not as valuable, but could still be decisive at the end.
It's a bit like a NASCAR scoring system, isn't it?
It is.
A bit odd. And they were momentarily in a sort of a phalanx of cars going up towards Paddock Hill Bend, certainly in echelon, the top 3. And up on the outside goes Oak Richardson in the blue car. He's on the outside of Matt Hallam, and he's going to dive down the inside into Graham Hill Bend. It looks like he's going to get to the apex ahead of Matt Hallam, and Hallam gets out over the grass in the 44 car, but Richardson, I think, has picked him off.
Yeah, looks like he has, so he's up to 3rd now. The top 2 still at it as well, with a little bit of daylight now back to Richardson in 3rd. And look how Michael Pearce in the 5th place, the green number 70 car, he's caught up with this group as well, and he's taken Andy Bailey with him. He's dropped Ben Hansey. Ben Hansey is half a dozen car lengths behind at the moment, but the top 2 pulling away from the rest.
Yeah, they're very, very close again, and this time Johnson can't quite squeeze ahead. Richardson after them now.
Here comes Johnson to the outside into Druids, but Richardson with them in the number 17 car, and Johnson will be mindful here of the blue car with the yellow stars, very helpfully, sort of uniquely leveraged, so in his mirrors. Johnson will know exactly who it is that's coming up behind him. No, it's not. So he's there. But yeah, Johnson, what's he going to do? I think he's got to keep taking the fight to Holland here. Johnson, of course, has won races before in 5 Club. He locks up massively there, though.
His tyres, he'll understeer as well, which he does. And Richardson saw that happening and thought, do you know, I fancy that. He has to tuck in behind. He needs the slipstream.
Yeah, he'll try and use that along the Brabham Straight. There's 6 of them all in a line now. At the back of that group, it's Andy Bailey, the Mint Alloys car. Those 6 separated by 1.3 seconds or so. And Hansey another second back behind them as things stand. Man who's on 2nd place, or in 2nd place in race number 2 of the weekend, having had a problematic start to the weekend. Richardson with his car halfway up the inside of Johnson into Druids now, but he's going to be on the wrong line for Graham Hill Bend. And again, he sort of backs out of that and stays in 3rd place for a minute. So regroups, has another think. There's still 6.5 minutes to go, so probably 7 laps, I would think, if not 8 laps to go in this race.
6th for the lead with Ben Hansey in 7th place, waiting to pick up the pieces should any drama unfold ahead of him.
Jack Lawrence getting the black and white flag for exceeding track limits. That's his first warning. That time it'll be a penalty. Not seen too many 5-second penalties applied during this weekend. We've had quite a few track limits warnings, but they've clearly been doing their job, and people have been improving their behaviour as time goes on. A back marker soon to be dealt with by the lead as well. That's going to be the 666 car of Nigel Holland. It's another BS Motorsport car, I think. So is that going to do a favour to Thomas Holland? Yeah. So let's see how this pans out. Up at Druids. Looks like Nigel doing his best to keep out of the way.
Yes, I can't evaporate, he's thinking.
Much as he'd like to at that particular point. And I think everyone's safely negotiated the slower car, and the race continues with 5 minutes or so to go. So it's Thomas Holland leading in number 74, 92 Jordan Johnson is 2nd, 17 the double winner so far this weekend is 3rd. He's already got the fastest lap in this race, which is then 3rd. In fact, Matt Hallam is 4th, number 44, 5th is number 70 Michael Pearce. Andy Bailey is in 6th in the number 95 car. And we're rather focusing on this lead battle, but it is
quite compelling.
It
isn't
is compelling. Johnson now just trying to use the toe, gets alongside Thomas Holland into Paddock Hill Bend.
And that's the first time that Richardson's shown the interest in actually joining into that battle, because he could see they're going to come out of it side by side, which might give him an opportunity. He's trying to claim that inside line for the hairpin. It's going to leave him on the wrong side for Graham Hill Bend, but it's all about exit speed here and keeping it neat and not exposing yourself to trouble. Oh, there's is that
It's the 19 car is the one that's got away. That's Andrew Beale, one of the best motorsport cars. Can't see the number. I think it's 41. Alex Quatch T that's off into the gravel over there at Clearways, and that's right on the edge of the circuit. So double waved yellows protecting that for the moment, with 4 minutes of the race left to go. So we'll see what he's done about that, if anything. But he's not going to get out of there without assistance, I don't think. Almost up to the axles in gravel. Here are the leaders. They've just gone past the scene of that incident, and it is Johnson that is alongside. Safety car, though, is now being scrambled. Yes, the safety car lights are being displayed around the circuit, the LED panels and the yellow flags being waved. So that is in response to that Alex Quatch T incident.
Johnson was over the timing line first, but Holland got the position back going into paddock.
And it was sort of 46 thousandths, which is, you know, a thickish coat of paint ahead.
Measured in microns, I think,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. So we'll see if the officials do that. I think Holland was trying to wave to Johnson to warn him of the fact that, hold on, chap, there's a safety car panel flashing there, so you might not want to do that. And Johnson did back off out of that. So we'll see how the officials view that after the race. Now we've got 5 marshals doing their best to move that MX5. What's that MX5 going to weigh? A few hundred kilos. They're going to get peppered with gravel if they're not careful. And I think they've realised they're not going to do it themselves, despite their best efforts.
That's right, the Jerry of Marshals has failed on this occasion.
Yeah, well, good on them for giving it a go.
It was certainly a bold try.
They're retreating to their post, though. I wonder if we are going to have a
checker flag.
Checker flag's being waved here, so we're going to get the checkered flag this time to Thomas Holland, who did get back ahead of Jordan Johnson, who had fallen fractionally behind. But the checkered flag goes out, and it's a first, I think, 5-club win for Thomas Holland in the Massimo Tyres 5-club MX5 Cup. Second place goes the way of number 92, Jordan Johnson. In third place, it's number 17, Oak Richardson. Fourth place to number 44, Matt Hallam. In fifth place, it's number 95, Andy Bailey. And rounding out the top 6 is number 70, Michael Pearce. And that safety car denying us a grandstand finish of that race. We thought we were going to have probably 4 or 5 more laps of that with that group, top 6 group, going out at hammer and tongs, Marcus.
Yeah, well, there we go. Well, it's one of the BS cars that was off in the gravel, and another of the BS cars that's ended up managing to win this by a fraction.
Oh, is that a conspiracy theory you're trying to start
there?
there?
No, very far from it. Purely coincidence.
And again, I think we've had 33 starters and 32 finished in that race. So the only one that didn't was the one in the gravel trap, Alex Quatch T. And that's often the case in MX5s. They're remarkably reliable cars. They're 35 years old now in some cases. But they are really rather reliable.
I saw them racing with the Sports Car Club of America way back when they were new, the Miata Challenge or whatever they call it over there, and it was fantastic.
Let's have a look at the results then for that race. It was number 74, Thomas Holland, that took the win, 12 laps completed. He was ahead of number 92, Jordan Johnson, by 0.644 seconds. Third place went the way of number 17, that was Oak Richardson. Fourth to number 44, Matt Hallam. Fifth was number 95, Andy Bailey. Sixth was number 70, Michael Pearce. Seventh, number 40, Ben Hansey, after his second place earlier on. Eighth, number 848, Matt Crozier. Ninth was 128, Samuel Gormer, and running out the top 10 was Ben Smiles on his debut weekend in the championship. And it was Kevin Dengate, Chris Lovett, Ian Tomlinson, and Scott Lawrence, with Zoltan Shabai. Roger Chesno, after his spin up at Druids early in the race, he was 16th, ahead of Jack Lawrence, Amy Worthington, Stephen Robinson and Mary Bownard rounding out the top 20. Then it was Sam Moody, Paul Bonnard, Martina Ward, Andrew Robinson, Jeremy Rivers Fletcher, Matt Short, Philip Barrett, and the rest on the next page. There they go. Glenn Crook, Aidan Wardley, Neil Burrows, Andrew Beale and Nigel Holland, the final finisher, albeit a lap down. So that brings the MX5 racing to an end for this weekend. They are also, like many of the championships here this weekend, back out on the Silverstone National Circuit in 5 weeks' time. Let's go down now to Josh Barrett. He's in the pit lane and he's going to speak to our top three.
Down in the pit lane then after the third race of the weekend for the 5 Club Racing MX5 Cup, and a new winner this time was Tom Holland, who is congratulating his competitors. Then we'll grab a word with Tom. Well done, Tom. A close race there, you had to fight all the way.
Yeah, JJ definitely didn't make it easy, but that was a lot of fun. Didn't surprisingly got as good a start as I did and was able to make my way up for the front fairly early, but I mean, this is what 5 Club Racing is all about. Good close racing until the end. You can't really have a second to think about it.
And the sort of you progressing throughout the weekend, and then the reverse grid helped you out a bit, I guess.
Yeah, well, I always come here for a bit of fun. I mean, everyone here is ridiculously talented drivers, and it's quite fun. Although my dad, I don't know where he finished. I mean, he might have made on the first father-son 5 Club sandwiches and out of all the drivers. So that'll be one to look on the finishing sheet.
What's your plan for this year? Because obviously you're not at British GT this weekend.
So my plans have officially been announced. I'll be racing in McLaren Trophy Europe with alongside Nick Halstead. So it's going to be a good, long, fun year, and I'm enjoying it. Different piece of machinery, new learning progress, but it's not going to stop me from coming back here. This is where I started. These are the people that helped me turn into the racing driver I am today. So I'm going to still be around 5 Club for hopefully quite a few more years.
Well done, and good luck in McLaren. I guess you're back here next month for that, so good luck with that. So second was Jordan Johnson, who, a bit like Ben Hansey earlier, didn't have a great day yesterday, but better day today, Jordan, onto the podium in the end.
Yeah, not a bad day today. I was just waiting for Tom to make a mistake all race long. I was like, as soon as he puts a foot wrong, I'm there, but fair play, he's defended well, and shame about the safety car.
You had a couple of good goes, you were fully alongside.
Yeah, he wasn't giving me the inside, obviously not, but I thought I could probably make it work around the outside of Paddock Hill a few times, which is probably not the best idea after what happened to me yesterday morning, but yeah, we had to go.
What did happen yesterday?
I got a little tap in the back bumper first corner and it sent me across the gravel, so yeah, I think I was last coming after the first corner, so it's been a bit of a recovery weekend after that, but I've had good fun doing it.
Exactly, that's all about, isn't it? Second place, well done, and then Oak in third. Oak, firstly, we didn't get to speak to you properly earlier, so well done on the win earlier on. That was sort of a kind of dominant performance because you had no one right behind you.
Yeah, it was easy. No, it wasn't easy at all.
And this time out, obviously, you came through the field quite nicely.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Last couple of laps, it's a shame we got the safety car.
Yeah.
Like Jordan and Tom, they were having a good scrap, and I zigged when I should have zagged, and they zagged when I should have zigged, and didn't quite get through. But yeah, good fun.
And it's been almost a perfect start to the season, I guess, and sort of it all felt like a step forward from last year.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Question one thing?
Yeah.
Just say to Scott and Karen, because they should have been racing with us this weekend. Really sorry about everything that's happened, Karen. All thinking about you, and hope to see you soon.
Well done on your weekend, and best wishes to Karen as well. So.